In this video, I'm going to be telling you how you can avoid 5 mistakes in Garageband. Let's go. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to this den we call our studio, and let's start off with the first mistake that you should avoid. So the first one is a common mistake that I see a lot of people doing is not to set up their input and output devices correctly. And the way to set up correctly is to go ahead to the Garageband over here, click on Preferences, and you will be greeted with this box where you have various settings. Head over to the audio and MIDI preferences, and this is where you'll see the devices option. Now you have output device and input device. For those starting out, output device is the device from where you'll be hearing your sound. Now usually people do have an audio interface. What's an audio interface? Well, it's a device just like this one, which has a bunch of input and output ports. This is how you plug in your various instruments to record them into your computer. This also has a bunch of ports for outputs where you can plug in your headphones as well as speakers. So head over to the output device. In my case, I have a Scarlett 8i6, and I'll also select my input device as the Scarlett itself. In this way, once I have set up correctly, I can hear the sounds coming from the DAW as well as I can plug in my own instruments to record them. The second mistake is that you don't set up the tempo for the Apple loops. Apple loops, when you open it, you have a bunch of loops and you have beats as well as you can favorite them. But what you don't see is that which key is that loop in. For example, you're creating a music in, let's say, A minor key scale, but you need some inspiration from the loop section. It doesn't show which loop is from the A minor. So in order to show them, you go ahead to GarageBand, go to Preferences again, but this time head over to the loop section. Over here, you'll see an option of loop browser where it's saying display original tempo and key. Just check it. And right over here, you can see now you have the tempo of all the loops as well as the key displayed. The third mistake is that people don't usually download all of the sounds that come from GarageBand. And once they have loaded in a plugin, which is by the way just a fancy name for virtual instruments, you can download all of the songs in the library with just one click. Head over to the sound library section over here. As you can see, I have almost all of the sounds downloaded except the electronic drum kit. And the way to identify whether you have the sounds downloaded or not is that you'll be displayed with this small little download icon right next to the sound library that you want to download. For instance, I have the electronic drum kit which is not downloaded on my Mac. So what I'll do is that I'll go ahead to GarageBand, I'll go to the sound library drop down, and I'll just click on download all available sounds. What this will do is that it will open up a pop-up where you can just select OK, enter your password, and just click on install software. And voila, I have all of my sounds on the electronic drum kit downloaded on my Mac. Now, before we go into the fourth mistake, if you're getting value from this video, let me know by smashing that like button and helping the algorithm. And while you're at it, subscribe to the channel. It goes a long way. All right, now the fourth point is that you need to quantize your MIDI notes while you're recording. What is quantization? Well, if you head over to the piano roll, and now in this instance, I have a classic electric piano instrument loaded in, and if I want to record a MIDI note, I bring up the virtual keyboard by hitting Command and K on my keyboard. This is a virtual representation of your normal keys, the piano keys that you see on any of the pianos. And let's say if I have to play A, D, and G, this is a C chord. Now, I want to just record it, and I press R, I have the count in, and then I press the chord. If you see on the piano roll, you can see that all of the notes have shifted off because I didn't press it on time. Now this is very important because if I play from the beginning, I'll have a delay of the sound because my notes are not aligned from the start. Now this is called as quantization. So what you do is you select all of the notes over here, you go to time quantize option over here, and you select 1/16th note. For now, you don't have to go into deep into what is 1/16 or 1/32. That's for another video, and I'll run you through all of the time signatures and all of the beats. But for now, keep it at 1/16th. And once you select that option, hit Q. I don't know if you noticed, but all of the notes are now aligned to the closest beat. Now what you can do is you can just select all of the three, bring it to the first, extend all of the three notes till the end of the first bar, and just play. And the fifth and the last point is that the automation is hidden on the track's view. What is automation? Let's say I want to have a swell of volume once I'm playing an electric piano. Now what I can do is I can just automate the volume knob to kind of have that ramp up feeling through a graph. Now you can't see it over here on the track section, an option to select it, but there's a quick shortcut that you should be aware of. Just hit A on your keyboard and you'll be greeted with this little line and this transparent looking track where you can see your automation tool. Now if I select what I want to automate, for this instance I want to have a swell of volume, I select the volume automation over here and I hit on the volume automation on the track. This draws in a line and just look at it as a graph. Now if I want to have a ramp up of the volume, I need to introduce another key point. So I go ahead and click on the end of that bar and I introduce a new point. Now I go ahead to the first point and I slide it down so that the graph is now a slow gradual increase to the volume that you set. So those were the 5 mistakes that you should be very about when launching Garageband. And for those who want to just start learning what Garageband is, check out this video where I just run you through and get you started. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Till then, cheers.